Does food take up too much of your headspace? Are you freaking sick of overthinking about food? What is going on, Big Dreamers? Your lady Vitamin Katie is here, and today I'm sharing with you my 3 most powerful tips to quit it with the overthinking about food. Now, I want to say I just had a client call with an incredible freaking woman who has a history of doing bikini competitions, and I really relate to this idea of like, oh my god, I cannot trust myself around food. I really want to be beautiful and fit, and I need to track every macronutrient, every calorie, and weigh myself. Anybody who's like interested in nutrition or studying dietetics, like, you know, when a new research study comes out about X, Y, and Z having damn arsenic in it or whatever, and then you're all up in your head about your whole entire life, and you're like, great, I'm just gonna be breatharian. I understand. I have so many memories of walking around the dining courts in college being like, cool, I don't want to eat any of this. It's all GMO and who knows where it came from and blah, 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 blah. The whole story in our head around the fear and anxiety around food, like, I really relate. And in relation to our bodies, like, at what point do we come to not trust our fullness and hunger cues? This truly does come from us thinking that we aren't good enough and that we need to look a certain way. Everybody has such different genetics with our shape and our size, and instead of really focusing on our physique so much, instead of really focusing so much on our weight and trying to uphold to this like idealistic look, which, you know, over time it does change from culture to culture. It changes. Right now, you know, I love how like the thick booty trend is a thing and like the thicker bodies are getting some damn respect. But and it's crazy for me to say that because both my parents are like lanky and long and lean AF, and I feel like naturally I am skinny, you know what I mean? Like, but I really want to say that it's about time we started to appreciate our bodies and took care of ourselves for our health, instead of being like, wow, you know, I wish I looked like her, or I wish I was smaller, I wish blah blah blah. No, like, let's embrace what we got and feel damn grateful and be like, wow, you know, I'm really beautiful when I take care of myself. So I'm gonna go into it. The 3 biggest tips to practice food freedom and let this clear from your headspace, okay? Let's dive into it. Number 1, I want to talk about cognitive dietary restraint, or CDR. Are you somebody with high or low CDR? And I'm going to tell this story. So there's 2 people, they are twins, they're both women, and one twin just watched the Victoria's Secret fashion show, and she is like, I'm gonna lose 10 pounds, like, I want to look lean AF, and, you know, maybe she got a push-up bra or whatever anyways, but she's not feeling good enough. She's like, I really need to lose some weight, and it's not from an empowered place. She's not like, oh my god, I'm so excited, I want to get stronger and healthier. No, she's like, I want to be skinnier to look like that, okay? Twin number 2, pretty, you know, she didn't watch it, she's not really into it, she's like, whatever, she loves her body, she does her thing, she's into her hobbies, whatever, not really concerned about her body. They both, identical twins, go into a party, and right when they enter the party, there's a plate of cookies. Twin number 1, she's been tracking her calories, she's been tracking everything that she's been eating, and goes into the party and she's like, oh god, oh no, I'm not having a cookie, there's no way I'm having a cookie, I'm not having this cookie, cookie's not happening. Really taken over her headspace. Twin number 2 is like, oh my gosh, yum, who made cookies? Grabs a cookie, eats it, it's like, wow, thank you, that was amazing, blah 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 blah, ha ha ha, laughs with her friends, has a really great time, and is just focused on her friends and focused on having a good time. Twin number 1, meanwhile, is trying to have fun, but she feels really uncomfortable in her body. She's like, ooh, I really want a cookie. Like, do I look okay? I don't know. And she is so up in her head about it that by the end of the night, she's like, F it, and she has 4 cookies and she feels like absolute crap. Meanwhile, twin number 2 is still laughing and having fun and wasn't thinking about cookies at all and is just like, whatever. Then later on that night, twin number 1 is in her bed crying, freaking out, like, I suck, I have no control, what is wrong with me? I don't know, like, I'm not gonna eat anything tomorrow, I just wish I could lose this weight, I'm just like so frustrated with myself, I hate myself. Twin number 2, meanwhile, is like not a care in the world, sleeps in. And of course, twin number 2, like, she does value her health, so she's like, okay, so I'm gonna go for a walk, I feel like going for a walk, I'm not really hungry, doesn't eat anything till like noon. She has like a salad just because she wants a salad, whatever. Which twin, long term, or even right now, short term, which twin do you think is more holistically healthy? The twin who is like super up in her head with the high cognitive dietary restraint about not having this cookie, or twin number 2 who practices intuitive eating, food freedom, trusts herself, and really values her, her health and her connection with her friends and her pleasure from having a cookie? Which twin is more holistically healthy? Which twin would you rather relate to? Okay, so if you relate more to twin number 1 with having high cognitive dietary restraint, first of all, leave a comment down below and let me know when you feel this way and how often you feel this way, and let's get in touch. And second of all, like, this is so beautiful for you to become aware of, because now once we have this awareness, then we can start to peel the layers of the onion back and undo this pattern, okay? We can't fix anything until we're aware, and you have to be willing to want to change, okay? We can't keep doing the same thing and expect to change. We really need to start looking at these patterns and then see the contrast of what is possible in the other twin and start stepping into those ways of being. Really, it can be that easy. Like, just like dropping a pen, you can really be like, wow, I'm overthinking about this. I'm just gonna not overthink about this. I'm just gonna like really let myself eat this right now and have some fun. It can be that easy. All right. Tip number 2 is an intuitive eating scale to start monitoring yourself with. So right now you're probably like, there's no way I'm gonna stop tracking. I do not trust myself around those cookies. Like, I would just eat them all and get really unhealthy. I would get diabetes, Katie. Like, you can't just tell me to eat whatever I want. Like, that's crazy talk. I get you. And I got you. I want to say this concept of like, I eat whatever I want, whenever I want, is a concept that I had heard before, but it took me years to really, truly, fully, actually eat whatever I want, whenever I want. It took me really years to really have that dial in, and to be completely honest, it's still something I work on. It is still something that I personally work on, and I'm really excited. I'm actually in a course right now to become a intuitive eating, food freedom and body image coach. It's called the Embodied Rebel Academy by my incredible friends Brandolyn Tebow and Kara of Kara's Kitchen. Okay, I digress. But I want to say, what was I saying? Intuitive eating. This is scary. This is scary for a lot of people to stop the monitoring, because you think that when you stop monitoring, then you're just gonna overeat everything in the house. I told you that it's taken me years to have this concept fully land and have me fully trust myself, and that's why I have this business. Like, my service is really in place to help women not have to go through what I went through with like navigating all of this on my own. And now I'm so excited to hold my clients accountable for having lower CDR and for practicing intuitive eating and truly practicing health promoting behaviors and getting excited about it instead of focusing on the weight. I think it took me so long because I didn't have someone like me in my corner holding me accountable. But anyways, when it comes to intuitive eating, I invite you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, your hunger and your fullness. So a number 1 would be, oh my gosh, I am so hungry, I'm gonna eat everything. I haven't eaten in over 5 or 6 hours, like whatever it is, I just worked out really hard and I had to go do this thing and I'm so damn hungry. Like, you're ravenous. Like, this is the hungriest of hungry ever. Number 10 is, okay, Thanksgiving meal, I feel pregnant, I'm so full. I'm so dang full. That's a number 10, okay? So ideally, we want to be between, you know, 4 and 6-ish, right? We want to be in a nice place where we're feeling satisfied. So I recommend that you stay, you know, if you're at like a 3 or a 4, to eat something. We don't want to wait until we're a number 1 to eat something, because then we're just probably gonna, you know, I don't know, stick your spoon in some ice cream because you're freaking starving. We don't want to get that starving. So when you're at like a 3 or a 4, eat something. And when you're at like a 7 or an 8, stop eating. So this concept requires you to slow down. This concept requires you to get plenty of sleep. It requires you to drink plenty of water. These things, noticing what stressors, what emotional triggers are coming up. It truly does force you to sit with those emotions instead of numb them with food, which is also really scary. In our society today, we're not really taught how to handle our emotions. We're really taught how to cope with other things and how to numb. You know, maybe we feel uncomfortable, so we go get a glass of wine instead of sitting with that discomfort. I invite you, when we practice intuitive eating, to actually separate the hunger from the stress, okay? The stress in our lives, because I know a lot of people who don't trust themselves around food are probably using food often as a coping mechanism. And I also don't want to say that using food as a coping mechanism, that can be also okay, like that's fine. It's really over time, if it becomes a problem and you actually have diabetes or some other condition that is concerning, that it becomes a problem I'm concerned about. So I do want you to recognize, when it comes to using this scale, you actually get the opportunity to throw the rule book out the window, and instead of looking outside for answers, and instead of, you know, doing the intermittent fasting and calculations and all of these things to try to control your body, instead you're really coming from a space of compassion and love for yourself and truly, truly slowing down. And this was really scary for me too. I actually, like, it took me years to actually grasp this concept, because I would be up in my head like, okay, I'm awake now and I'm not that hungry, but I should probably eat breakfast. I feel like, am I not eating enough? I don't want to have an eating disorder, so I'm gonna have this muffin. Like, I would be super up in my head about it still. It's funny how for me, like, I don't know if it's because I'm a dietetic student or what, but it took me a long time to fully trust myself around food. And it just, like, God, you know, I wish I had someone like me, like I said, to actually help me trust myself around food, which is what I hold my clients accountable for. So start using that scale, okay? Start using the cognitive dietary restraint. Where am I on that, high or low? And same with the intuitive eating on a 1 to 10. Where am I at? Am I at a 10? Am I at a 1? Comment below, making sure, like, I want to get in touch with you guys. I want to hold you all accountable. Number 3 biggest tip I can tell you right now for really making sure that you stop overthinking about food: notice your inner dialogue. How are you talking with yourself about yourself? Often we don't trust ourselves because we are trying to fix ourselves. We are trying to look different. We're trying to be different. And this needs to stop. Let your inner dialogue talk with you like you would talk with your daughter, like you would talk with your best friend. Is this voice some voice that is like, wow, you are beautiful, you are amazing? Having empathy for yourself if you, like, quote unquote make a mistake or had a bad day. Is this voice beating you up, telling you, what the heck is wrong with me? I wasn't productive at all today. I didn't get anything done that I wanted to do. Like, you suck. Like, blah, blah, blah. Is it beating you up? Or is that voice taking a deep breath and like, wow, okay, this came up and I'm gonna be okay. Like, I love you. How would you speak with your daughter? How would you really tell her that she needs to starve herself and tell her that she sucks and she's awful and that she's never gonna be good enough and that there's something wrong with her? Hell no. You would rub her back and you would say, oh, everybody has bad days. Like, You are your own worst critic, and you can be your own best friend as well, okay? So give yourself a pat on the back, give yourself a cuddle, like internally, mentally. Take a deep breath and just be like, wow, you know, my body is amazing. I'm an absolute miracle. I'm moving through this journey, and it's never ending. There's never gonna be one day where we wake up and we say, okay, great, I'm done now. I'm all done taking care of myself and my health. And there's so many shades of gray too. Maybe some days you're feeling really good, some days you're not. Hormonal shifts, whatever. There's a lot that comes up, so I really invite you to let yourself be your own freaking best friend. And last thing I want to say about that bonus tip, you get to decide how empowered you are. You get to decide if your fitness and health journey is a positive thing for you. Nobody else can decide that for you. Some people look at me as a vegan and they're like, wow, vegan, has an eating disorder, oh my gosh. Sure, from the outside, people might think that because you don't want to eat a cookie or because you're not hungry for breakfast, maybe they'll think that something's wrong with you or you have an eating disorder or whatever. You gotta be true to yourself and recognize, like, actually, I feel really, really good eating this way. Actually, I freaking love going hard at the gym. Actually, like, you know what I mean? Like, this is up to you. Nobody else can decide this for you. And the way I personally diagnose an eating disorder is, of course, if they're super underweight, they're not getting their period, they're deficient in nutrients, like they're anemic, that kind of a thing. That's obvious. And secondly, is it mentally taking up negative headspace too much? That's huge. That's freaking huge. If it's negatively impacting your life, thoughts about food and thoughts about your body image, that's all I need to diagnose a quote-unquote eating disorder. So notice what thoughts are coming up for you. Be your own best friend, and you do get to choose for yourself an empowering, positive perspective around your food, around your fitness, around your health, and around yourself. So take a stand right now for yourself. Give yourself a big hug and say, I love you, I love you, I love you. Okay, that was so weird, but please do it. Please do it with me, okay? Give yourself a hug. Tell yourself, I fucking love you. And have fun today. Don't take life too seriously, all right? I don't know about you, but I just want to fall so in love with my life that I can't help but take care of myself and get excited about it. This life is not about bending over backwards and trying super hard to fit into a stupid size of jeans, okay? So that's all I want to say. Let's focus on our energy and on our health, and you don't have to try that hard. You know, people think we need to like do all these calculations and crazy things. No, your body is brilliant. It's about time we trusted ourselves, okay? Let me know what tip you like the best. What are you gonna do after this? Are you feeling better? I hope this video really helped. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, let me know what questions you have, and I'll see you in the next one. Hit me up on Instagram too, okay? Much love.